the way that he trains, and because some videos that are out there, there's some Padres fans when they see those videos. I think you know where I'm going at. They freak
But,
out.
yeah.
Put some shoes on, Joe. What the heck? So, can you explain why Joe does not train sometimes in shoes?
Yeah. So I actually, years ago, before I ever met Joe, I started having some knee issues. My arches were collapsing. And I started training barefoot. And I started wearing like what's considered like a barefoot shoe, like a minimalist shoe. That got me more interested in actually training the foot, and my knee issues went away. And so I've personally been a fan of being, for most people, it can be okay, right? For some people, they have foot issues, but it's like, okay, I think being barefoot is a good thing for most humans, myself. And then when I met Joe, I just noticed that he liked to be barefoot quite a bit outside of working out. If you're just walking around chilling, but working out, we were always in shoes all the time. And then I think it's reasonably well documented. He has a nerve issue in his right foot. I think it's called a neuroma. It's what Mike Trout had, and Trout ended up, I believe, having surgery on it. And so there's a nerve that is like impinged. Hopefully I'm not getting this wrong, but there's like a nerve impinged in his foot. And so it causes pain, causes numbness. If you let it go, it actually causes like, discoloration because like there's not as much blood flow getting down to the area. And so basically his right foot is just squished inside of a shoe. And when we're moving around, he was having pain with it. So anything laterally, change of direction, it became this issue of trying to get our training in and not aggravate the foot. And especially when he's on the mound, he has no choice, right? He's got to drive through that right foot into the rubber, and then you're rolling, peeling that foot off the ground. And so those things were always causing an issue. And so when it would be flared up, he would start to train barefoot to try and give it some relief. And then you see the issues, like a lot of pitchers have it, right? A lot of people have it. Their toes get all kind of scrunched up. They start to get a bunion. So then it's like, well, how do we address that? All right, let's wear toe spacers. Let's actually do foot exercises, toe exercises. The more we did all of those things, the less symptoms he had, to the point where it's really a non-issue. We don't really have to talk about it at all. And so for certain exercises, certain things, it makes a lot of sense for him to have a shoe. For others, it doesn't. I've always been a firm believer, especially with like a lot of regular shoes, like a Nike Free, something like that, or an Ultra Boost. It's like, go ahead and kick a weight, see how that feels. It's not doing as much for you as I think some people would think. And so for us, it was the lesser of two evils. Him being barefoot, he's comfortable, not dealing with this neuroma, and it was like a problem solver. That was kind of how it started. Obviously, he's talked about all the time. The thing I always tell people, I'm like, have you ever kicked, the corner of your bedpost, right? You kick it with your pinky and it hurts like hell. I'm like, all right, do you only wear shoes in the bedroom now? No. You just be like, I shouldn't do that again. Like, I got to be very careful not to do that. Stuff happens all the time. It's always about mitigating risk. And so that there is a risk to being barefoot, for sure. There's a risk to doing a lot of things in the weight room. But the advantages that he gets from doing it and not having to deal with that nerve issue has far outweighed the risks. I wasn't there when he dropped the kettlebell. I heard about it right away. I got the pictures. I was like, oh my God, you got to be kidding me. And of course, I'm his trainer, so I scramble. I look in the exercise in what I gave him. Like, did I give him something where this was a foreseeable risk? And it was just an exercise that somebody on the staff wanted him to try. It was potentially a poor choice. But then again, I think if you ask Joe, I think he said this, it's up to him to decide what is a good or a bad choice to do as far as an exercise or to do barefoot. And so, he'll take 100% responsibility. He's like, he dropped a kettlebell. You live and you learn.